sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
Hello, and welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting week of Leverage Your Score. And I am your CEO, dressed down CEO Tyrone Glover, coming to you live from my location, which is Yonkers, New York, doing what I do every single week, which is talking to you, giving you some of that good information, that solid, concrete information that's going to help you elevate your score, elevate your financial understanding, elevate your stability so that you can function in this already now rebuilding of the economy that we're doing. We got an administration that is now looking at another $3.5 trillion on top of the already $4 or $5 trillion that they've already added. So if you are going to take part in that, you're going to have to take care of some of those things that you probably thought that you never would have to take care of. Today, we're going to put some more holes into that understanding of credit. We're going to put some more holes into that understanding of cryptos. We're going to put some more holes into that understanding of what you can do for self. You can do anything that I can do. You can do it for self. I always tell everybody, if you can't do it, find you someone who can do it until you can do it. It's just that simple. If you can't, find someone who can until you can. It's just that simple. I was never great at finances, but I focused. I put my attention into it. I went to school. I did everything that I needed to do. So that's why I get the privilege of sitting here in front of the camera talking to everybody here on Soul City Network about what it is that they are going to have to do every single day religiously. If you want to capitalize off of this economy, then you're going to have to, one, figure it out for yourself how you're going to get that credit into that realm. Before they even talk to you, they're going to take a look at your credit. Before they even utter your name out of their mouth, they're going to look at your data. And this is what this show is all about. It's about clearing some of the misnomers. It's about debunking some of the myths. It's about putting you on a trajectory that's going to do what, which I always like to say, keep that credit going in an upwards trajectory. Keep it going upwards. Again, we're living in trying times right now. We just had an administration prior to this one that really didn't do very much for those who look like me, those who are of other ethnic understandings. They really didn't. It made sure that the rich got richer, and it made definitely sure that the poor got poorer. It's now time for us to reconcile, rectify, get back to where we need to be when it comes to our finances. We've done it before. If you know anything about Black Wall Street, we've done this before, and we can do it again. We've done it before, and we can do it again. It's just that simple. So again, my name is Tyrone Glover. I am the CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery. You can find us always on this channel, which is Soul City Network, which is an awesome platform that allows for individuals who look like me to have an outlet where we can discuss topics that are very important to our community. And what I'm referring to is the community of Black and brown individuals that have had opportunities, but sometimes those opportunities have knocked so soft that we might have missed it. But regardless, we are smart, we are talented, we are proficient, we are experts in our subject matters, and it's now our time to bring all of that knowledge to you, the community. And I'm starting at home with my community first, but Soul City Network obviously has a large platform that allows for me to get out into the various social media outlets and allow for you, the consumer, the individual that's going to need this. How many great teams do you know that don't have coaches? None. How many professional business owners, for the most part, that have coaches or don't have coaches? None. Oprah Winfrey has a coach. Elon Musk has a coach. These individuals have fully disclosed that they have coaches. They have individuals that help them and continue to help them along their trajectories of still amassing so much wealth, and they still have coaches. And all I'm asking of, thank you, Carmen, I'm asking of the rest of us, those of you out there who understand, get a coach, get someone who can walk you through those understandings. LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Stephon Curry, all of these basketball players, superstars, the baseball players, the Jeters, all of these elites in their own field, they all have coaches. And my job is to help you become an elite in your field. So to get this all started, we're going to jump right into it. Again, Tyrone Glover, Leverage Your Score. I'm the CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery, and we're going to jump right into the topic matter. And the topic matter today is Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin? What is Bitcoin? Is it something that you can live with? Is it something that you can live without? Is it something that do you even really have a good understanding of Bitcoin? Is it something that is made up? Is it just poof in thin air? It just popped up? Well, I'm going to give you some facts and I'm going to give you some understandings of what I believe. And I do have hopefully a pair or two that's going to be showing up as I go through the PowerPoint. And it's going to clarify these understandings that a lot of us are still having and still question. And again, always do your due diligence. I'm just a resource. I'm an outlet that allows for information to be given, but I always tell everybody, our recommendations are just that, they're recommendations. And if you want to get a good understanding, then you're going to have to do your independent study as well, and then seek out those who have a vast knowledge. But if you're looking at $1 trillion industry, and if you can put pennies into that industry, and again, short term with some risk management, you can still capitalize significantly. Not only am I saying it, I'm doing it myself. I'm doing it myself. And my job, again, as a individual who is executing the process, my job is to make sure that this works for all of us. We are a community, and it's unfortunately, some of us are going to miss this boat and some of us are going to capitalize. And if those of you who want to capitalize, well, this is the space to now do that. There are industries out there that are $1 trillion industries. And in order for us to capitalize on those $1 trillion industries, we're going to have to start making them baby steps right now. We're going to have to start looking at discretionary spending right now. We're going to have to start looking at the white parties that we attend on a regular basis. We're going to have to start looking at, am I spending too much going out on the weekends? We're going to have to start looking at, where can we cut back to start investing? It's just that simple. And the best way to do it, and I've done it myself, 90% of my resources I never even touch because they're already doing what they need to be doing. 10% of my resources I use on a regular basis, and that 10% is now almost surpassing my 90% that I give to others to do the work for. Now that should tell you something. That means 90% of my resources aren't really making that much money for me. They're making a lot more money for somebody else. But that 10% that I get the full control over, full control. It's now surpassing, or not yet, but it will be surpassing that 90%. And as I stated, my job is to make sure that individuals like me, who look just like me, whether you're a female, whether you're a male, and you look like me, dark skinned, light skinned, even if you are a poor, middle class, Caucasian, white person, doesn't matter. Your anger is directed at something or someone else, and it shouldn't be directed at us. But I can tell you right now, there's a lot of us who all we want to do is collectively make sure that we all have. And those of you who are poor, middle class, white folks, trust me, you can get on this as well. So with that being said, leverage credit recovery, our recovery depends on what we do now. It's just that simple. What we do now. Don't wait till tomorrow, because every time you put it off, it's not increasing. It's only decreasing. So you're really going to have to decide what's more important to you, struggle or success. What's more important, struggle or success? I lean more towards success than I do struggle. And I'm sure you're leaning exactly in that understanding as well. All right, so we're going to keep this ball rolling. So Bitcoin, what is Bitcoin? Now, we've heard a lot of things about Bitcoin. We've probably seen a lot. We've probably heard a lot. And we're probably wondering, what is Bitcoin? How can somebody explain to me what that really is? Well, I'm going to do my best. And as I stated, I have some individuals that will be popping in. Hopefully that all had worked out and we can get those individuals in. One of those individuals is Alan Chance. And the other individual is Sam Alvarado. Now, I'm hoping that everything works out, but you know how technology works. Sometimes it works with us and sometimes it works against us. But if we can't make that happen today, trust me, these individuals are very, very knowledgeable in their fields. They know, they're the gurus I have to sometimes, not have to, but I always reach out to. Alan is one of my best friends, and he's been doing the Bitcoin thing for some time frame now, and he's literally schooled me on it, that even the fractions, the smallest little pieces that I have made me some understandings that have capitalized, and I was able to pull off a couple of thousand off of the Bitcoin when it was at that high level. But as we all know, came back down. What is it going to do? Eventually rise back up, because we all know what goes down must eventually go back up. All of us are investors. The thing is, we don't understand the risk management behind investing. So once you get the risk management piece down, you're going to be able to free up. I'm telling you right now, in this pandemic, I've been able to capitalize off of 10% of my resources. I've cut back on spending. I've cut back on clothing. I've cut back on all of those things that I have more than enough of. Do I need another shirt? Do I need another pair of pants? Do I need another pair of sneakers? Do I need? Or is it a want? Which one is it? So what I've done is I've cut that in half. And now when I need to break myself free of this spending addiction that I have, I spend and I invest on myself. It satisfies that endorphin that is in my body. That's making me That's making me want to go out and spend money. So again, you got to find how you the individual. I can't make what works for me work for you, but I can help you get to what's going to work for you. And this is definitely one way to start inquiring or exploring the possibilities of Bitcoin. So in this presentation, here's what we're going to be covering. What is Bitcoin? How does Bitcoin work? How to use Bitcoin? As I had already indicated, we were looking at a one-on-one with Alan Chance, a Bitcoin enthusiast and investor, and then we're going to wrap it up with a Q&A. So what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a decentralized network of digital currency. Transactions are made to and from 16-character encrypted addresses. These addresses are mathematically secured so that nobody but the owner of the address can transfer the funds that belong to it. So that means when you have Bitcoin, that's your personal Bitcoin understanding. No one can do anything with that unless you give them control. It's just the same thing, almost like your bank account. you can't give any, or no one can access your bank account unless you give them control. To put it simply, Bitcoin is a network of independent computers that generate, propagate, and verify monetary transactions. Just that simple. It's the coolest thing in the whole wide world. It started just like most of our currencies started. I can go back in time. I did a financial education course in my school that I was currently in last school year, and I will be going back. Thank you so much, Boyce Thompson, for accepting me back into your academic process. Totally looking forward to bringing the Glover Bucks back to the school and giving our children the opportunity again to learn something that schools have stopped teaching for a while. So how do you use Bitcoin? So everybody's asking, how do we even begin to get this stuff? Well, again, go online, do your due diligence. There's a lot of platforms out there, a lot. When I say a lot, there are a lot of platforms out there. Please seek out somebody who has knowledge. I'm just giving you an overview because, as I stated, I myself have invested and I've seen the possibilities of the endless possibilities of being able to create wealth, the endless possibilities of being able to take what I have, smallest pieces of what I have, and generate that into something sustainable. And again, we all understand the markets are not your friend. The trend is your friend. But again, if you're not investing, $1 trillion markets, $1 trillion markets. How many of you understand how rich people get rich? Do you think they work for those riches? Now, obviously, they have put in some work, no question about it. We're not going to take anything away from the rich folks, but think about it again. Rich folks invest. They build their money off of their assets and off their investments. We as individuals in that poor realm or that middle class realm, we're still figuring out how we're able to even get to the investing piece. Well, you can get to the investing piece very easily. We just got to cut back on the spending piece. And trust me, we love to spend. But if we cut back on that spending and we spent that more in the investment realm, we can capitalize. So, as I say, how does Bitcoin work? Before you can buy Bitcoin, you have to install wallet software onto your computer. Wallet software, what they're referring to is Coinbase. Again, all these names that I'm bringing out to you, you can easily go onto the platforms and you can find it. So Coinbase is one platform. There's something called Gemini. You can buy on Robinhood. There are a endless number of platforms where you can inquire about Bitcoin prior to making any purchases. And again, these are all recommendations. Okay, our recommendations are just that, recommendations. Please, I ask anyone, prior to doing anything in the investment realm, do your due diligence, reach out to somebody who can educate you through and through prior to making any type of investment decisions. I am just a advocate of investing. My primary understanding in this realm of finance is credit. But I can tell you right now, if it were not for good credit that freed up resources, I would not probably be able to put money into Bitcoin. And as I stated, I've been able to generate at least $2,000 off of the smallest amount of Bitcoin that I've had since I started investing in November. And I'm not even going to talk about the Dogecoin, what I was able to pull off of that. I'm not going to even talk about the LTC, the Litecoin I was able to pull off of that. I'm not even going to talk about the Ethereum that I was able to pull off of that. There are so many outlets, and these are, again, $1 trillion markets. So the wallet will allow you to send, receive, and transfer Bitcoin. It's just like your bank account. It's just like Zelle. Receive, send, and transfer. Again, this is what we as individuals want to have, is access to our resources. If I can send and I can pay with this type of resources, then what's wrong with using that as a primary source? If I can receive, what's wrong with me doing this amongst my family and friends? And if I can transfer, again, as a gift, hey, nephew, hey, niece, here you go. Hey, friend, hey, stranger, here you go. This is going to be the wave, or the way of the future. And I'm not just speaking from my own knowledge. I've read a bunch of resources. And as I stated, Alan Chance and Sam Alvarado, those are my experts. Those are my coaches. That helps me get through and navigate through some of the complexities of not understanding Bitcoin. But I'm so confident in their understanding of Bitcoin that I'm willing to put some pennies. And yes, that's what I said, pennies. Because you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. And then once you start seeing the return, guess what then happens? You continuously keep adding more. You keep adding more. You keep adding more. If you get paid bi-weekly, then you should be putting something towards your personal investments. So to purchase Bitcoin, you have to deposit money into an online exchange that connects Bitcoin buyers and sellers. Just that simple. Once you have that exchange, that opportunity, you can go in and you can do just like you would do with your regular resources at your bank. The Zelle thing is pretty cool because you can do Zelle between multiple institutions. Cash App, who right now, I'm just, again, a little wishy-washy on Cash App right now, but that's one of the major ways of being able to buy these Bitcoin understandings, hold it in that Cash App exchange, and then equally exchange those with different platforms, like what I had mentioned, Coinbase, Gemini, Robinhood, Stash. Oh my goodness, there are so many out there, and I have at least 4 or 5 of them that I use myself. So again, Leverage Credit Recovery, if you ever find yourself wanting to know more about this particular piece, we'll connect you with the experts in the industries, the ones who have done their due diligence, the ones who've been in it since 2008. So once the exchange has accepted your currency, you can place an order for Bitcoin similar to the way you would buy a stock. It's just that simple. And this is what's important. They've made it so easy for us to have access. Now that the access is there, we just need the knowledge. There are smart people in this world who look like me and who don't look like me, but they are open to making sure that you as an individual can capitalize off of these wonderful opportunities that are out there. Yes, as I stated, with proper risk management. You give your money right now to your 401k and you know nothing about those institutions, nothing. You just were signing up because it was a sign up time during your employer's offering of 401k. There's a lot of products that, again, within that 401k, if you probably had some control over, you could probably make more money. But what do you think the majority of that money that they have, that they're doing what we're doing, what we're attempting to get to you to do, they're doing the exact same thing. And I've talked about the banks, and I'm going to just elaborate this really quick. Your savings account, it yields you 0.03. Your checking account, it yields you 0.04. Again, you give 100% of your money into these financial institutions. So of that 0.03, if you put $1,000 in that account, that $1,000, they're using it. That bank is using your money to trade. And of that $1,000, a year elapses. Guess how much money you will then have in your account? Cents, pennies, while the financial institution has made oodles. And you got to think about it, 330 million people in this country, 330 plus million people in this country. So banks are not hungry. They're not starving. But I can tell you right now, too many of us live in gingerbread houses and we're starving. While outside in front of your gingerbread house, guess who's always coming by snagging off a piece? You got your cable company, you got your cell phone company, you got your utilities, you got obviously your landlord. If you own a car, you got all of these pieces snatching from your gingerbread house, but yet you're on the inside starving. We got to change that. We have to change it. And the only way to change it is to start introducing new ways of being able to capitalize on the resources that you currently already have. That's what I'm saying. What you already have, discretionary spending, by cutting that back, you will be able to invest, starting with pennies and then upgrading as you become more knowledgeable of the understandings. It's just that simple. All right, so how does Bitcoin work again? Download software onto a computer or phone, and that's the beauty of these understandings. You can do it from your computer. You can do it from your phone. You are mobile. So use those mobile understandings to obviously help you with being able to, one, get that knowledge. Independent study is sometimes the best way of studying. It's great to have mentors. It's great to have those individuals that you can rely on for information should you get stuck. But again, doing some of your own independent study gives you that opportunity to formulate the questions. Because a lot of times when we're in front of somebody, we don't have the questions. But as soon as we're off the line or as soon as we've hung up, guess what? Oh, darn, there's a question. So I implore everyone to keep a pad and pencil by your bed, because these questions are going to always pop up. And when you have the opportunity to either be on this show, Leverage Credit Recovery, or Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse's, which is Access Wealth Nation, who is the investment guru in all aspects of the financial world. As again, I'm just the expert and the guru in credit, and I rely on all of the experts out there who are in various fields that I'm not in to help me navigate me and get me to where I need to be so that I can adequately speak to my audience and help them gain a better understanding so that they themselves could then reach out to other producers or other individuals on this particular platform. Because again, the only way for us to make it is we have to make it. We're going to have individuals who get to that next level. There's no question about it. We see it every single day. But as a whole, if we can get there as a whole, do you know how much we then add to, even though we've already added to this United States economy and the global economy? If individuals of colors were to pull their resources away from this economy, do you know what would happen? The horror show that will basically come out of that will be, it would be horrible for so many people. So again, think about the mobility that you have. Think about the technology that you have in your hands every single day. And you yourself, again, pennies. So software will generate unique addresses. Here you see an address. This would allow for you to, again, go to that exchange. Once they have that address, you then get to buy Bitcoin. The funds are added to your digital wallet. From that digital wallet, the Bitcoin network authenticates your transaction. You may now use your Bitcoin to pay online. So this is even another opportunity that allows for you. You don't necessarily have to use your dollars. You don't necessarily have to use your credit card. You can use now something that's going to help you with gaining more understanding into this whole Bitcoin realm. Now, I'm almost certain that as we venture through this new form or means of exchange, it's going to tie into your credit as well. So all we're looking at is a win-win type of situation here. Win, 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 win. You just have to be in it to win it. It's just that simple. And too many of us are going to miss out on a, for sure, opportunity here. Now, again, I've said it and you hear it online. There's Bitcoin stuff, blah, up and down, up and down. It was at 60, now it's down to 29, and so forth and so on. Again, it started at zero. And as of now, it's only correcting itself due to the fact that it's leaving a carbon footprint that is of a concern to anyone who understands carbon footprints. And once they figure that out, once they find that mix that's going to allow for that carbon footprint to be reduced and even reduced even further, oh my goodness, this mining is only going to take off, and it's going to take off in a wild way. But as I stated, always make sure you understand and you get your information from reputable sources. Do not just go out there and get on Instagram thinking that, oh, I got this information on Instagram. Yeah, you might get a hit or two, but don't do that to yourself. Soul City Network has the foremost African-American woman, first African-American woman on Wall Street. She can walk you through all kinds of investment opportunities, all kinds. And that's what's the beauty of having someone like that I can speak to on a regular basis. And Yana, we still got to sit down. I got that $18 a day that I want to give to you. All right. So again, how Bitcoin works. Giving it to you one more time, your senders. That's you. Blockchain, Bitcoin mining, blockchain. There's the receiver. So there is an understanding. You, the sender, are sending it through the various understandings, the mechanisms that get to the receiver. Once the receiver has it, they're going to do their portion of the exchange. Once that portion of the exchange is going to be sent through, and that money transfer services is going to end up in the bank, and that bank and you have the means in which you can now, as I just stated, and as they have already stated, where you can now use your Bitcoin to do transactions, or you can just hold on to it as it goes up, snag a little bit off the top, put that as profit. As it goes down, you wait and wait and wait. Again, is there a potential that you could lose a little bit? Absolutely. I had a friend who's now doing the day trading, and he did an exchange with Bitcoin. Well, he had to do the exchange through Coinbase. Once he did the exchange through Coinbase, Coinbase held his resources for 9 days, which I thought was way too long to hold on to anyone's exchanges or anyone's resources. But because of the fact that it was a new consumer coming to, and Coinbase needs to get better at that, no question. You don't hold nobody's money for 9 days, knowing how volatile Bitcoin is. And that friend of mine lost $1,000. But since he's been day trading, haven't spoken to him in a week, and I'm hoping that once I do speak to him again, he would have made that $1,000 back. But again, there are always risks to everything. I tell everybody, before you leave the house, do you think about, well, I'm going to jump in my car. Maybe my brakes might not work. Or I'm going to jump in my car. Maybe the steering wheel might not work. We don't think about those types of risk. But when it comes to our greenback, the money that we see either in our wallets or in our bank account, but we don't think about it when we get ready to buy them Jordans. We don't think about it when we get ready to buy them Uggs. We don't think about it when we're getting ready to buy whatever it is that we buy. But if we were to, again, cut our spending in half and got our thrill through investing like I'm doing right now, you're going to capitalize. You're going to capitalize. I get to free up my spending endorphins by literally investing in myself. And I still get to do the things that I want to do. And my needs are all taken care of. It's up to you, folks. It's not up to me. It's up to you. If you want it just as much as I want it, then you are at the right place to get it. All right, so download a Bitcoin wallet, an app that lets you receive, hold, and send Bitcoin. The application will generate a unique string of numbers and letters, which is your Bitcoin address. This is for sending and receiving payments. That long number, and I've done it a couple of times, and one of my good friends, Eric, equally helps me sometimes with making sure that I can fund up my account. And it's all, again, done through this method, because this method is the most prominent method for these types of exchanges. And it obviously must be working because, again, Bitcoin started at 0. It is now at $29,000. Yes, it had a high up at 60. Will it ever get back to that? There is a likelihood that it might. But I can tell you right now, those of you who are in it and in it for the long haul, there is going to be some definite gains that you can create. All right, once you have set up the wallet, you need to buy Bitcoin either from another user, which I've already mentioned, Coinbase, Gemini, Robinhood. These platforms are out there. Most of these platforms must, and I'm going to ask regulators to really stop allowing for companies to come in that don't have any phone servicing. We need to be able to talk to people who got my money. I need to be able to pick up that phone 24 hours a day. And if you got my money, I need to be able to talk to you. There's no way that higher than normal call volume should be the standard. And then we got to wait, or we got to do the endless email exchange, or we get these bots. I don't need to talk to a bot because a bot is an automatic response. Why am I talking to something that can't give me a response back? So you companies that do not understand phone service, customer service is phone service. Customer service isn't bot service. And what you really need to do is upgrade yourself to being able to video conference with individuals. You got my resources, but yet I can't talk to you. That seems a bit shady for me. So all of you, Robinhood, Credit Karma. What is it? Robinhood, Credit Karma, Coinbase, Gemini. The majority of you that are out there, you need to have some form of phone connection so that we, the individual, can talk to you. Because as I stated, higher than normal call volumes, each and every one of you companies, including those who have phone services, are saying the exact same thing. Well, if you have that many consumers calling with concerns, then that means you might want to hire some people who can address these concerns, because clearly the ones that you have aren't addressing these concerns. All right, you can use your Bitcoin to invest, shop, or give away. This is a great way. Again, you can use your Bitcoin to invest, to shop, or to give away. So let's take a brief history of Bitcoin. Take a look at it. 2008, Bitcoin and the concept of its blockchain were first introduced in the fall of 2008 as white paper. In 2009, Bitcoin was released as an open source software. 2011, in February 2011, Bitcoin's price crossed the $1 threshold. So this is in 2011. So we're looking at 2008 where it was zero, 2009 where it changed from the white paper to the open source software, and then 2011 February rose to $1. So if you got in pretty early and you snagged yourself some Bitcoin at when it was zero or less than a penny, and some of these coins that you're now seeing, Doge was at 7 cents when I bought it. Yes, it has taken a nosedive. It's at 17 cents, but again, I bought it at 7. If I bought it at 7 and it's now at 17, I'm still making 10, but doubling it at least. So if I got to 7 cents or if I got to 14 cents, I'm doubling it. So I'm doubling my money already. And I got 3,000 shares. Okay, 3,000 shares, and I'm doubling my money. All right, it's just that easy to make money. If you want to make money, you just have to be in these particular sectors that are going to allow for you to make money. 2011, again, in June 2011, it hits its first bubble, rocketing to around $31 before sinking down to a single-digit range. So it went up, as all things do, dropped back down. As all things do, what goes up must come down. And look at it again, 2013, almost 2 years later, in April 2013, Bitcoin reached $200. $200, April of 2013. $200. All you had to do was hold. All you had to do was hold. $200. By the end of November that same year, 2013, it was worth more than $1,000. So again, if you had pennies invested where you were able to capitalize and literally bring in thousands of shares for yourself, you could be a multimillionaire. And too many of us are sleeping on opportunities that are right in front of us. And as I stated before, pennies. You're investing in yourself. You're leaving 90% of all of your resources. You're leaving that to do what it already does, which is pay your bills. If you got a 401k, 403b, if you got other stocks that are longevity stocks, still talk with my friend, Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse. And I'm sure if you're not using Rule 72 for yourself, then I'm sure she would definitely tell you you need to be focusing on Rule 72. Rule 72 is just doubling your money every 6 years. Same thing that the banks do, doubling their money every 6 years. Every 6 years. All right, so getting back, November that same year, it was worth more than $1,000. It then rose tenfold to $10,000 in November of 2017. So just think about that trajectory. 0 in 2008. So you're looking at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You're looking at 5 years. It went from 0 to $10,000. $10,000. From 0 to $10,000. actually, let me rephrase that. Let me catch back up on that. From 8 to 13,200. So it didn't quite go that far, but we're now looking at 2017. So let's do 9 years. So in 9 years, it went from 0 to $10,000. 0 to 10, 0 to 10, 0 to 10. If you invested pennies, you turned out millions. Just that simple. If you invested pennies, you turned out millions. If you invested dollars, you more than likely turned out hundreds, tens of millions. Easily. And even though this coin is still a bit unstable due to, as I indicated, multiple factors, one of the factors that I'm acutely aware of is that Bitcoin itself leaves a carbon footprint that must be cleared up prior to this then skyrocketing back into that realm of where we've already seen it, and it will go higher from there. So let's take a look at 2017. Bitcoin's highest price was around 19,650 in mid-December of 2017. This was just after the election, the year prior to the election. So during Trump's era, Bitcoin just, again, boom, skyrocket. 2018, the 2017-18 bubble was primarily led by the boom in initial coin offerings. Okay, 2020, the 2020 global pandemic had also been a boon on the digital currency, reflected by the current price of more than 10,000. Okay, so we got a little bit of pinch. We lost some momentum, shall we say? But 2011 today, oh, 2011 today. So actually, this is 2021 today. Bitcoin is worth less than 29,689. So it's fluctuating. So somewhere in that space right there, at when I checked it this morning, it was at 29,689. Now, where is it right now? I'm sure it's probably a little bit higher or a little bit lower. But again, 29,689. So that means 0 to 29,000. If you got in, you made out. If you got in, you made out. If you didn't get in, more than likely, you still are wondering, what is Bitcoin? So what is in store for Bitcoin's future? No one can really tell for certain. Just bear in mind that no investment, particularly frontier investments, meaning these new explorations of financial entities and institutions that are now looking at competing with the dollar, competing with the Japanese yen, competing with the British pound, competing with all of the various currencies out there. We're looking at a new frontier. And as with all frontiers, are without risk. If there is one lesson to be taken from Bitcoin's history, it's that what goes up can come down, and it can come down fast. So you got to just do your part. Again, get with those who know, find those outlets, those resources who can walk you through all of the particulars. Once they walk you through, you're going to probably have a pretty good understanding. But keep those individuals in that back pocket. Make sure that they're always there to help you with navigating yourself through. And once they are there to help you navigate yourself through, it's going to just be easy. You just follow that lead. Again, LeBron James dunked the way that he dunks because somebody probably told him, rise up, my son, rise up. Shoots the way that he shoots. Stephen Curry, he seems like he can shoot from anywhere. Boom, in. I was watching the gentleman on I think the NBA championship is on. This guy at one point, he was hitting threes like I drink water. But again, was he good at that, shooting them threes prior to? Probably not. He had a shooting coach. He had a warm-up coach. He had coaches that helped him get to that point. And this is what I'm encouraging all of you to do out there who are listening to me. Find a coach. Find someone who can help you navigate through these unfamiliar territories so that you can start capitalizing on the trillion-dollar industries. Indice, meaning that is your NASDAQ, that is your S&P, that is your Dow, that's the equivalence of our Dow, which is your German GE 30, which is their Dow, our equivalents of our US Dow. These are trillion-dollar markets. If you think about stocks alone, there's 3 companies out there that are trillion-dollar companies. Trillion-dollar companies. Amazon, $1 trillion. Apple, $1 trillion. Microsoft, $1 trillion. If you could trade those stocks alone, but they're too volatile, so they'll be bouncing all over the place. But if you could trade those alone, guess what you'd be able to do? Again, make money. Or, as I stated, find someone like Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse, find you a fiduciary like my good friend Antonio Kenyatta. Find you someone that knows how to make your money grow. But first and foremost, as I always stated, prior to doing that, get your credit in order. That is the platform. That is the foundation to anything that comes thereafter. That credit, prior to anyone talking to you, prior to anyone uttering a single word to you, they're going to check that credit. And if that credit doesn't fit the mold, they will more than likely entertain you. They're going to look at that behavior. So if you have modest credit, but you got great behavior, they'll probably give you more likely the loan, but it's still going to be up in that 17, 18, 19%. If you got extremely good credit, but that history is still bad, you're still paying more for your goods and services. So as I state, as always, I'm the guru in that credit realm. I believe there's nobody out there that can discuss or more or less give the recommendations that I can give. And if there is, please join me on my show. Come in, teach me something that I don't know, and I'm guaranteeing I will teach you something that you don't know. Bad debt deduction. You don't know that. You don't know what them people do with them those charge-offs. You don't know that you don't have to pay an individual once they've charged it off and they sold your debt to pennies on the dollar. I do. I know exactly how to get you out of going to court. I know exactly how to do the very same things that the schools should be teaching our youth. That's where I come in. And I have coaches and I have friends and I have individuals who are smart, savvy, intelligent, bright, brilliant individuals already doing it. And my job now is to make sure that every single person, again, as I stated, that looks like you and I have the same opportunities. All right, so a few shout outs to the local businesses, Yonkers African American Heritage, who put on an excellent, fabulous Juneteenth, to Yonkers Public Schools, who is doing everything, in my eyes, as much as I can honestly say, literally are giving these children the opportunity to recoup from this horrible school year. I know it's still going to be a bit more challenging, but Yonkers Public has really stepped up its game. And I appreciate the opportunities that they have given to myself to allow for me to be in their academics program, teaching finances to these students. And these students are enjoying it. They're loving it. The Glover Brooks process is amazing. And all I'm going to do is keep doing what I keep doing and keep doing what I keep doing. To my friend Connect, we got something coming up, Sharky. Looking forward to it. CYI Hats, who always keeps my hat wear looking great. To my niece, Glossy Yaya, keep doing your thing, girl. Keep doing your thing. Cosmetics is just it's just a starter for her, and I'm hoping that as time goes on, she's able to capitalize even more off of that. As always, Soul City Network, the platforms of all platforms that are giving individuals of colors the opportunity to speak and talk about what's on that chest, because as my good friend, I think it's Money, I Got Time Today. Love that song. And Hair Hands by Teeks. I keep saying I wish I had the opportunity to be able to do what she does. I wish I could braid. If I could braid, I wouldn't be doing credit. I'll tell you that right now. If I could braid, I would not be doing credit, because that is almost a precise understanding, just like credit. You want to be on point with making sure that you're getting individuals to where they want to be successfully when it comes to their finances. And when I watch this young lady, Hair Hands by Teeks, do her business, do that head, leave a person who walks in there with that hair just all over the place, and that person walks out of there, please go to these websites and take a look at all of these individuals. Go to these websites, go to their Instagram pages, go to their Facebook pages, go to their understanding and give them some recognition, because they're killing it. They're out there doing it day in and day out. D Chef, home cooked meal. He made some pork last night, and I'm not even really into the pork, but he killed it. and access Wealth Nation, your key to financial freedom, Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse. I'm telling you, there's nobody better out there that I know. First Black woman on Wall Street, recipient of the Tulsa 100 Year Award. This lady knows her business. She knows it in and out. And for those of you who are looking to find ways of taking small amounts and generating that into large payoffs, Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse, Access Wealth Nation, Thursdays at 6 o'clock. We'll get it done for you. And we can always be reached. Leverage Credit Recovery. Do you have any questions? Send it to us. We hope you learned something new today. My email is leveragecreditrecovery@gmail.com. My website is leveragecreditrecovery.com. And I can always be reached at 805-428-9424. And yes, that is a California area code. Why do I have a California area code living in Yonkers, New York? I've had this number for almost 20-something years. I know this number like I know my Social Security number, so I would not be giving it up to get something that I'm going to forget and still be giving people 805-428-9424. There you have it, folks. That's how we do, constantly doing the things that get you to that next level. I want to thank everybody who always takes the time out. Now you got about 6 more minutes. Those of you who may have a question or two, jump in. I'm always open to answering any questions that the audience may have. And also, I encourage the audience to equally go to my website, put some questions in there. Go to my Facebook page, put some questions in there. I know you have questions, whether it be questions about credit, whether it be questions about, I'm getting sued by a debt collector, whether you have questions about collections, whether you have questions about inquiries. It doesn't matter the credit questions that you may have. If you have those questions and you are unsure and you cannot find someone to adequately answer those questions, please reach out. I can tell you right now, you will not get a higher than normal call volumes on my phone, as you would with other companies and other institutions out there. Be careful of these various institutions, because a lot of them out there will not do the job unless you literally almost have to nail their feet to the fire. We shouldn't have to chase after recovery efforts. We should be looking for businesses that know what they're doing on a regular basis and can do it for you without any problem. When you got a fiduciary in the pocket, which I have a fiduciary means this is somebody who is bound by law, and they must make sure that you are taken care of first prior to them. Now, I know that may not sound like a lot, but it means a lot. And those who are reputable fiduciaries, they're going to go out there and they're going to do exactly as they're supposed to, because they go to jail. They go to jail. Trump's CFO, fiduciary, he did not do what he was supposed to do. And guess what? Indicted. Will he be going to jail? Only time will tell. But as a fiduciary, which I have a good friend who is a fiduciary, he's already told me. Got you. So that means if he got me and I got you, that means we got each other. This is not going to be that hard to do what we need to do. It's not going to be that hard. We got to get out of our own way. Once we're out of our own way, then we'll start seeing the success. Once we move away from what ifs to maybe, as I tell my students every single day at summer school, I talk to my kids every single day, and they leave there with an understanding of, wow, I just received information that's going to make me smarter, that's going to help me get to that next level. And these kids sit there, and I'm as jovial as I am here, laughter, fun, excitement. I keep it thrilling for my kids, because my job is to make sure that they want to come back the next time. And every single one of them do. One of my favorites, and I really don't have favorites, but I'll say it anyway. One of my favorites, Manny, mom called me, told me, hey, he's not going to be there for 2 days. No problem. But Manny was distraught that he wasn't going to be there for 2 days. But as soon as we see Manny tomorrow, it's going to be as if Manny was never even gone. But this is the type of relationship that we should be fostering, that we should be creating. This is the understanding that we should be instilling in our youth today, that we as a nation must get through our trying times. The divided states of America doesn't work for me. I do love and appreciate the United States of America as a veteran. So we got to get back to these understandings that We can do whatever it is that we need to do, whatever it is. And individuals of color, Reverend Al said it the best, and I'm going to constantly keep saying, we don't need anyone. We don't need anyone. All we need them to do is get off our necks. Because if they do that, we've done it before. We've done it before. We've done it in multiple situations. We've done it in multiple understandings. The number one cash crop in this country was cotton. Free labor built this country. The number two cash crop in this country was tobacco. Free labor. Okay, free labor. People got rich off of us. We are everything. We move the whole planet. That is so true, Carmen. Thank you so much for that. We are everything and we move the whole planet. So if we are everything and we move the whole planet, let's make sure that we're capitalizing off of our movements. Every move has to be a move that's putting something back in your pocket. Every move that you're doing has to be a move that's securing your financial future. Every move that you do has to make you a better, wiser, smarter, savvier individual. And every move that you do is going to pay off if that's what you want. But we got to tell our regulators, we got to tell our legislators, we got to tell them no more. We are done with that part. We are done. You either work for me or guess what? You're going to be stepping to the side. Just that easy. Just that easy. It's just that easy. It's just that easy. All right. So I'm getting ready to wrap this up. I was hoping that I get a question or two prior to. And if you're still out there and you got a question, we're about 4 more minutes into this now coming to a conclusion. And as always, Leverage Credit Recovery is the name of our business. Leverage Credit Recovery email is leveragecreditrecovery@gmail.com. You can find us at leveragecreditrecovery.com. Always, we are always available to anyone has the opportunity.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.